a horror anthology film that all the stories interconnect and meet up with each other, and they all have important parts to play with each other.
Hey guys, Kenny here. Stay cool and roll out to the movies.
Trick or Treat. This is a 2007 film released in 2009. For some reason, I don't understand why it took 2 years for it to be released. But this is one of my all-time favorite anthology films. Not just horror, but anthology films in general. And I really enjoy this. It has... Let's see, it has the opening that has Emma, played by Leslie Bibb, and Henry, played by Timo Penekit, and they live in this house, and then there's this little, like, demon thing that appears and does something to her. I'm not going to say what it is. And then it goes to the story about this principal, Stephen Wilkins, and he's a town principal, and he masquerades as a serial killer, a high school principal, moonlights as a vicious serial killer. And then the third part is a school bus massacre, and it's of these 5 kids: Macy, Schrader, Sarah, Chip, and Rhonda. Macy is the one who tells the story about the school bus massacre. It's about all these mentally challenged children, and they all so the bus driver drives them away from their homes, and it goes somewhere else to like this ravine, and the parents make a deal with him that was unfathomable. And if you have seen the scene, you remember what he's doing as he's walking down the back of the bus. He hands each of the kids candy, and the 5 kids in the main part of the story, they all got 8 jack-lanterns for 8 children, 8 victims. And then they go down with this elevator, and they play a prank on, I think it's Rhonda, and then they start, once that prank is done, it scares nearly the living hell out of her, and then they all stop the prank, and then 3 of the friends start realizing that there's something very wrong there, that they hear voices, and then they think they see what might be the 8 children, and they're all messed up, and they're like ghoulish looking creatures, and Rhonda is able to get out, and we hear the screams, so it sounds like the other 4 are getting eaten up. And then there's this surprise party, and it's Laura, played by Anna Paquin. She's this 22-year-old virgin, and she's trying to find her one true love, a special person, and her older sister Danielle is there to trying to actually hurry her along to try and get to be with some boy. Get to a boy before time is, she's waited too long, and she's too old. And the party, you start seeing that there's something different about a lot of the people that are around, the ones that are standing, that they may be like werewolves, maybe, and then the last one is Sam, Sam is portrayed by Brian Cox, and he's this really cantankerous curmudgeon, and he has this dog, Spite, and as his only friend, and then Krieg is his name, and he starts. He gives candy. He hears some kind of a thing running around in his house. He goes out the front door, sees nothing there, then he closes that door, then he goes to the back and he sees all these jack-o'-lanterns. Then he goes back into the house, and there's that little demon thing. They start having a fight, and then Krieg starts fighting him and able to semi-kill him, and then Krieg starts noticing there's something different about this thing or whatever it is, and then they continue the fight. And the conclusion, let's see, a banged and bruised Sam. Krieg sees, goes out to his front door. He gives candy to these kids, actual kids at first, and it goes back into his house. Then he hears a knock again. Then he opens the door and he sees what looks like there's eight kids that are all messed up and have freaky looking here, and that's the conclusion. And the really neat thing about this film is that every one of those stories intersects and meets up with the other. And like the principal, he shows up in the surprise party, and that this whatever it is kind of shows up during scenes, and he's like a voyeur at first, and each of the scenes like crisscrosses and meets up with each other, and they all seem to have a story. All the stories like work with each other in tandem, and they all have a very nice ending to them, and that's what I really, really like about this film. And this is also hugely underrated, in my opinion. Dylan Baker plays that high school principal, Sam, and he was a excellent part of this film. He's here, right there. Yeah, and Rochelle Aites, I guess that's one of the girls that is, I guess she's the girl who plays the sister of this one. I think there. Anna Paquin is that girl who is dressed like Red Riding Hood here. Brian Cox is that cantankerous old man, Krieg, and he's right here, right there. Yeah, and every actor and actress was perfect in this film. I love the way they portray their characters, because this is a horror film, but it's also tongue-in-cheek, and it makes you laugh sometimes. So the horror is very tongue-in-cheek. It sometimes pokes fun at itself. That's what I like about this so much. Also, this is the back of it. I probably should have been showing the back, because this thing is also maybe a little spoiler. but I don't want to really say what it is. And it's about all I can say positive. Like the music score throughout was also brilliant. If there was anything negative, I can't think of anything really. So that's all I have to say, and I'll give this a rating of 4.5 out of 5 stars. So stay cool and roll out to the movies. Bye.